Hi guys. Sam and I are having a little conversation in the background. Oh, totally see those lights. And, ooh, I tell you, lighting and running around ahead of time make you a little sweaty. Oh, hold on, you guys. I asked Sam to turn something off for me, and I'm not sure what he did. Okay. Sound on my laptop was still going. So, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. And I hope everyone is excited for today's session. I don't know why, I always look out the window. It's not necessarily that I'm looking out the window, I'm just looking off to the side for some reason. So don't mind me, nothing happening out there. Hi, Rachel. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So today we will be doing 3 lists again. And if you are not receiving my emails, I usually send an email out the day before with a link to the session, along with a link to the list prompts or the list topics. So every other week, on one week we're doing listing, and on the other week we are doing memory keeping, all in a traveler's notebook. So if you're not currently receiving those emails, when we're done, make sure to go to my website at laylandbymail.com and click to receive the email so you have the information ahead of time. If you can also hit follow on my YouTube page, and when you do that, or my YouTube channel, when you do that, you can also click the little bell and be notified when a new video is ready. So a couple ways to make sure that you keep in touch, to make sure that you know what's coming, and you can be prepared if you want to be prepared. If you don't want to be prepared, that's okay. You can just come and hang out and play or watch or do whatever you like to do. I was going to say stare in awe. It's not really stare in awe. It's really like, oh, wow, what a show, right? Okay. So I mentioned yesterday in social media, if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, that the mystery of last weekend's sound session was solved. So I'm going to talk about that, but really quick, I need to bring it up. I need to bring the video up on my iPad so I can kind of see comments as you guys are writing. So bear with me a sec while I do that. There we go. I need to make sure I have the sound turned down on this. So many gadgets, so many little devices and gadgets, and gotta love them, but at the same time. Okay. Oh, Sheila from the UK. We have Carol Ann from Michigan, Jacqueline from Virginia, Sandy, Beth, Cindy from Southern California, Joanne. Good morning, everyone. Okay. So last week, if you were with me last week, or if you happened to watch the replay last week, things were going along smoothly for about the first hour. And then all of a sudden, I'm still going, and you all are typing in the comments, can't hear you, can't hear you, can't hear you. And I'm like, well, I'm talking. Take me off mute. You guys are, no, can't hear you. Something's going on. So when that happens, when you're doing a live on YouTube, there's really nothing you can do. I hadn't done anything to change what was happening. So very frustrating. And I kind of stood here and went, I'm not sure what to do. And so we ended that video and we started a new one. And in the new one, it took the first maybe 3 or 4 minutes before sound came back on. And a couple of you guys were saying it's the weirdest thing. We heard a man clear as day say, do you have your ID? And it sounds like running water. And I'm like, that's the craziest thing ever because there's no man here. Well, mystery solved. So after we were done with class, a while later, Sam called and he and I were chatting. And I said, Sam, the weirdest thing happened. He said, in the middle of my class this morning, all of a sudden people couldn't hear me. And we don't know what happened. But Sam, they could hear somebody say, do you have your ID? And Sam goes, well, I know what that is. And I'm like, what? Well, Sam had gone to pick up my dad because they were going to do something together and they needed to come back to the house first. So they were in the garage. Well, Sam was driving my car. So what happened was when he pulled into the garage, the Bluetooth was on my phone. And I know somebody said Bluetooth. Somebody said, is it your Bluetooth? And I'm like, no, it's not my Bluetooth. That's what it was. So Sam pulled into the driveway and instantly my phone picked up the Bluetooth in my car. So what you guys were hearing was my car was capturing through the sound what Sam and my dad were doing in the garage. So luckily they left not long after the second video, or the second video would have ended the way the first one did, with us not being able to hear. So mystery solved. Every time, I mean, I've probably done between these, I've done every Saturday since March, and then I've taught some exclusive classes on YouTube, YouTube Live as well. I've done probably close to 30, and I've never had anything happen like that. So now I have my little ongoing list, and one of the things on my list is, before you start the video, Lael, make sure you turn off your Bluetooth so that doesn't happen again. All right, so mystery solved, and we should be up and working. I know, right? Technology is amazing when it works, but when it doesn't work, oh, it's frustrating, right? But what do? You just have to roll with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera, and I will also turn on the lights, and we'll get going. Oh, wrong one. Dee-dee-dee. Flip and rotate. Okay, remember, here we have the Blair Witch Project, so it just takes us a minute. Me. Sam's in the other room. I can hear, oh, I know what's going on. Sam has the air fryer on. A couple of you I've talked about somewhere. Oh, I know. In one of my posts or something, I had posted about what we were having for dinner. And I had listed on there chicken sandwiches. So chicken sandwiches in the air fryer, and Sam has the air fryer going right now. We made chicken sandwiches earlier. Well, we made chicken sandwiches earlier this week, and now he's reheating the chicken sandwich, the chicken part of the chicken sandwich, in the air fryer, because air fryers, talk about technology. Air fryers are amazing. If you don't have an air fryer, I would highly recommend. They are great for cooking things, but also great for reheating things like French fries that get soggy, or chicken sandwiches, or anything like that. All right, hi Terry from Spokane. All right, friends, so here we go. I know our cars are smarter than we are. Yeah, speaking of, so this is funny. We got an email earlier this week from the car dealership saying, your car told us that it's time for the oil to be changed. I mean, how crazy is that? The car can send a message to the service department at the dealership letting them know that it's time for your oil to be changed, which is kind of a blessing and a curse, because if you rely on that working, then you don't have to worry about remembering when it's time to change your oil. However, if you rely on that working and then technology is, sometimes not our friend, then trouble. All right, so let's go ahead and get going. As we are working today, you guys, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That is very important to the way that YouTube works, and recommending things to other folks. Caroline, is that my friend Caroline? No, you know what? Oh, it is. I think I'm trying to look at your little tiny picture. Caroline from Florida that used to be from Spokane, right? I'm going to guess that's the case, because I see that, I think, what did I just see? Terry. Yep, Terry and Caroline know each other. Yes, that's my friend Caroline from Florida. All right, friends. So, our first list today is favorite things about my hometown. So this idea came to me a couple of videos ago. I don't know how many it's going to go now. There was the video when I was talking about packing up my traveler's notebook supplies to take on a trip. And I had pulled out this bag. And this bag is what I was using to store my photo papers. So for my Epson photo print, just, I would throw in enough of these that those are my little, those are the photo papers that I would have to take with me on the go. And a couple people asked about this bag, and a couple people knew this scene. And so after the video, because it sparked an idea, after I did that video class, I wrote down an idea for a list, and that one was favorite things about my hometown. So my hometown, and you guys can decide how you would like to define your hometown. Carrie Lassiter from Hooper. I bet you recognize this little guy. So you guys define what your hometown is. It could be the hometown that you currently live in. This could be the hometown that you lived in as a kid. This could be hometown that maybe your parents live in now and you consider that home. Whatever that is, there's no right or wrong in terms of how you define hometown. So you do you. My hometown, the place where I kind of grew up, my dad was in the Navy. I think I've mentioned that a number of times. Hi, Nina from Italy. I've mentioned that a couple times. So we moved around quite a bit until I was in fourth grade, and we moved to Park City. And Park City is in Utah, and it is a ski resort town for all intents and purposes. It's kind of like an Aspen or a Vail or whatever in Colorado. Anyhow, Park City. So this bag, when I saw this bag, I had to buy it because this barn it's called a bunch of different things. It's called the White Barn. It's called the Park City Barn. It's called the McPolin Barn. It is on a farm. Well, it used to be a farm on the way into Park City, and it's on the National Historic Preservation Landmark, whatever they call it. This barn was built, I think, in the late 1800s without any nails. So
that's the barn me and Jace painted.
You did. Oh, so this is kind of a fun little story. So my father-in-law is a builder, a contractor in Park City, and there is an old house that was refurbished that is behind the barn, and my brother-in-law refurbished that house. And then Sam was just reminding me, I had forgotten this, that he and his cousin,
Grandpa took us to go paint up there.
There's
like a little convention center thing and that Grandpa had just done.
Okay.
And they needed some of the buildings painted.
Okay.
So
All right, sweetie, thank you. So Sam and his cousin, Sam, you guys know Sam, our younger son Sam, and his cousin actually had a job, this was years ago, painting this barn. So anyhow, it just so much reminds me of my my hometown. So that was my idea for our first list. Things I love about my hometown. Alrighty, so I have listed. I have included a number of things in the description of the video. So the description is down below. Of the products that I am using. I had quite a few new products into my website over the last week. So I am using a bunch of those because I'm like you guys. I love to use new things. I love to also go through my stash and use a lot of my old things. And we've talked a lot about that before, pulling items from the supplies that you already have. But I am a shopper. So when I shop for me, I shop for you guys too. Or maybe I should say when I shop for you guys, I shop for me as well. It's like all of these for you, one for me. All these for you, one for me. In fact, what I was going to do this week, and then I totally forgot. I think I'm going to start a new weekly series on Wednesdays. And it'll be short, but it's going to be called It's going to be called What's New Wednesdays. And I'll kind of just do like an unboxing of what is new and what's in the store. So, I am going to be using a couple of different pieces in today's session from the new collection from Jen Hadfield, and it is called The Avenue. Now, what's kind of fun, I've met Jen once or twice. Very interestingly enough, if you follow her at all, and she is really fun to follow, so if you just go look for Jen Hadfield, she started kind of in her blogging days. I think she was like a craft blogger, and she restored a cottage, like a cottage from the 1860s or something. And it just so happened to be down the street from my house before we lived where we live now. So she, just because I follow her, has moved within the last year up to an area of Salt Lake called the Avenues. And I knew instantly when I saw this collection, especially that she had called it the Avenue. I know that area very well. It's close to the University of Utah where I went to college. So in looking at this collection and how she named it the Avenue, I could tell that this was her inspiration for the collection, was kind of the area where the area in Salt Lake called the Avenue. So this I thought would be really fun, parts of this collection to use for my favorite hometown, even though it's not, even though my hometown isn't Salt Lake, but I guess for all intents and purposes it is now because I've been here since college. 5 years ago. Well, not really, but you guys know I'm kidding. Okay, so so I have the stickers and also the die cuts. So in the die cuts, oh, you guys, there were so many. Look at that little car, this little dog. There's so many fun things in this collection. Oh, and then this one, of course. So I had to pull that little guy out. You guys know I had to pull this one out, right? The squirrel. Of course I had to pull the squirrel out. All right, so what I pulled out from the die cuts were all of these little black and white houses. And I thought that would be so fun for hometown. Now, Park City is an old mining town from like the 1800s. And in Old Town Park City, you have a lot of homes that kind of look like this. They're tall and skinny. And I thought that would kind of be fun to include because they kind of a little bit represent my hometown. So that is going to be what I'm going to start with. This is going to be a 2-page spread. One of the Karens is late to the game. But the other Karen, well, one of the other Karens is here representing for you, Karen. All right, so this is going to be a 2-page spread. So I am going to come in. Oh, and by the way, I'm just continuing in my listing notebook that I have been using really since we started. As we have been working, I have either done lists in my coronavirus travelers notebooks or one of my coronavirus travelers notebooks or in my listing notebook. All right, so I will come in and outline. But in this case, I'm only outlining the left-hand page, and that will make sense very soon. Well, actually, we'll make it make sense now. The whole thing about the barn, I had to include a picture of the barn in this spread because that to me is seriously, that is one of the most iconic things for me. When I think Park City, that is one of the things that instantly just comes to mind. So I have printed that out ahead of time. We'll get my little tape runner out. So I'm gonna make sure that I get right against the edge there. I think it was video number 5. Class number 5, done a really quick, I talked really quickly about, now I'm going to try to think and work at the same time. I had done a video about memory keeping in a traveler's notebook. And I talked about printing large photos like this. Let's see, Terry, you're going to the grocery store, Terry? Okay, good. You're just coming with you. So this is what's interesting. If you're really watching on the grocery store, people think you're crazy, but that's okay. All right. So, oh, I know. I had done a video about memory keeping in your traveler's notebook, and I talked about the printer that I use, the Epson Photomate, and I also talked about a hack. A hack that Kathy Zilski had come up with to print a larger photo like this from the Epson PictureMate. So I will, when we're done, I meant to include that and I didn't. If you have that printer, then I will link to that video and show you how you can, well, actually, I'll link to Kathy's video in my video, long story. You'll see how to do that if you want to know how to do that. All right, so then I know I want these little houses here to somehow play in the mix. And so we're going to end up with a lot of houses. So we have houses along the top and houses along the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead, I am going to go ahead and put these down now. No washi on this one because there's a lot going on. Don't need washi on this one like I normally would add. I can hear Sam is eating breakfast in the other room, and He is watching something on YouTube, I think, or Netflix, so I can hear it. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. I think it's going to be a scorcher again here today, you guys. It's feeling like it already. Karen, I honestly don't care what people think of me. Isn't that interesting? Oh, hi from Sri Lanka, and I don't even know how to pronounce what your username is, but welcome. Welcome, welcome. I love that. Okay, just reminded me of another list. But now I can't remember what. Oh, I know. Things I've learned. Things I've learned. So let me grab this out. Things I've learned. And that's kind of a things I've learned as I've gotten older. And one of those is you really start to care less about what other people think about you, hopefully. I was trying to clean up some things, trying to organize some things in my craft room, which is an ever ongoing process, and I know it is for lots of us. And I came across something that I had bought a long time ago. I bought this fan from Daiso. So I thought, oh my gosh, this will be awesome to have out. So as I get really hot, I can just fan myself off. Okay, so favorite things about my hometown, or what I love about my hometown, or however you want to do that. I have pulled out, and I've had, you guys, this is funny. I think this happens to a lot of us. I have had the Sweet Story sticker book for a while, and I've had it in my store for a while, and I haven't used it. So today I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this. I am going to use this because I like it, but I don't know why I've never used it. So I'm pulling that out. There are 8 different sticker sheets here, and I really thought that this font, this alpha, would go very well with kind of the black and white theme that I have going here. So this whole side of the list is pretty much going to be black and white, and then this photo is really going to carry all of the color and stand out. All right, so I want hometown to be in this font. I got sidetracked. I was trying to look at the comments for a minute there, you guys. Oh, look it. They are, let me see if you can see this. They're clear. So see how you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I put that right there. Can you see that they are clear? So yeah, that's fun. Didn't know that. All right, hometown. So HOMETOWN, 8 letters. So E should be about the middle. So we're going to hold on to that little guy for a second. And start with the E. And that looks like, actually I need to drop it down a little bit more because I need to put my title above. That looks like it's about the center, right? That looks good. That's close enough. HOM, so now we'll work either side of that. So if you guys are listing with me, what's your hometown? And what are some of the favorite things about your hometown? What are you adding to your list? I have a long list. What I ended up doing, because Park City is still close, my mom and stepdad lived up there. So I, after high school, moved down to Salt Lake and I went to the University of Utah. So Park City hasn't been my hometown for quite a while. However, it's about 45 minutes away. And so I will go up there quite often. In fact, we drove up there last weekend. So I love that I still have, access to it because it's close, not far away. But I decided as I was doing this, because there are things I like about my hometown when I lived there as a kid, and there are things that I like about, it's no longer my hometown, but there are things that I like about it now. And I thought, for this perspective, I want it to be things I love about my hometown back then when I was a kid. But you decide how you want to do it. Again, you're deciding what your hometown is. You were deciding whether it's what you like about it now, what you liked about it then. You could do a mixture of both. Up to you. Hometown. All right. I know you guys, you see me use these tweezers all the time, but they really are the best for sticker placement like that. And especially when you have something clear, you don't end up with your little fingerprints behind it. All right, I won't put those away now because they'll take too much time. All right, things I love about my hometown. Now, I think instead of love, I think I'm going to use a red heart, but let's see if that red is okay. That's kind of pinkish, so hang on. Let's see if this one is any different. Yep, it is, just a tad. Oh, I'm gonna keep those out. Those are new too. So I've had these in on my website for a while, those small kind of pink range red hearts, and now the rainbow ones. And I love these little hearts, you guys, because they're teeny. They're teeny and they're just a little tiny bit lifted, but not much. So they're little epoxy hearts, but they're not too big to make, make waves in your traveler's notebook. So things I heart about so we go up here. Yes, sweetie? Okay, when are you leaving?
And then go get ready.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to take you back to get lunch because I just...
Oh no, you need to. I told him. Sorry, you guys. Just Sam is going to go spend some time with my dad today, and I'm just talking to him, sweetie, because he won't have eaten.
Okay, I'll take him and get some. I'm not going to get food.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. Okay, didn't think that one through very much. Things I heart. Oh well, about my hometown. All right. Put these guys away. That is one nice thing, you guys, about having things organized. And you will see something about that pop up on one of my next lists about having things organized. So when you know you want something and you know exactly what it is, but you don't necessarily know where it is, so frustrating. But when you know exactly where it is, it's like so satisfying, right? Okay, let's see. I'm seeing all kinds of things, but I missed part of the conversation. So I know Carol was saying something about split pay. Anyhow, oh my goodness, Fiona, I would love to be able to pronounce the name of your hometown. I won't even try. Big Bear Lake, Oceanside. Oh, Sean, is that how I know you? Do I know you from one of Lizzie's events in Oceanside? Love Oceanside. Haven't been to Big Bear Lake. Spaghetti Factory. Oh yes, Spaghetti Factory. Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, so pretty. Canadian side. I always tell people, go to the Canadian side if you're going. Yes. Oh, good, Shawnee. All right, awesome. All right, now I need to keep going. Oh, Murals Inlet, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, Teresa. All right, I'm gonna have to go back and add a bucket list of places I want to visit and start marking some of these down. Okay, things I heard about my hometown. Now, obviously I had to make a list ahead of time. Normally I don't say make a list before you make a list, but I have to or else I can't remember when I'm live. Hi, Monica from Sao Paulo. All right, so, and I'm just going to, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, no, not that one, because that was a current. So probably not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can list them all there. All right, now I'm going to look at one more thing. All right, guess what? I am going to use all little hearts for my little bullets because I have enough reds. So here we go. Starting with the first one. And these are in no particular order. What do they always say? Not based on order of importance or whatever. Like if you list all your kids and you put, well, 2. I have 2. If you have 28 children and you're listing all of your children, then you say they're not ranked in order of importance. All right, the first one are the aspen trees. So there are a lot of aspen trees in Park City. There are a lot of aspen trees in Utah. And aspen trees are amazingly beautiful. If you don't know what they are, Google. Interestingly enough, total tidbit, this is a total squirrel moment. Aspen trees, the largest living organism in the world, is located in Durango, Colorado. And it is an aspen tree, not even grove, because it goes for miles and miles and miles. Aspen trees are very invasive. And so their root system will just go and go and go and go and go and go and go. So aspen trees. I love aspen trees. They, in the wind, they kind of, their little leaves are very like small little leaves like that. And they just kind of flutter in the wind and so peaceful. Love aspen trees. All right, the next one is the, actually, I better do this first because I better space all these apart to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to make sure that I'm going to have enough room before I get too far down this path. 5, and I can pull these back up. Yeah, because I will not have enough room that way. So let's gently pull that back up. 2. Let's see, I basically trying to get these spaced right. This obviously is something I could have done beforehand, you guys, but then it's not real. Then it's not like we're working together. And I think sometimes, at least when I watch people's videos and I see them mess up or I see their thought process on some things, I think, oh, that's good. I like to learn that. So you guys learn it, or you get it, you see it, whether you want to see it or not. It's the moving things around. And that's also what these little tweezers kind of help me do, because I really don't have to commit too much. I'm just kind of gently placing them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know I'm probably too close. Let's see how close we will be to the bottom of the things. Well, that works because I can probably come right in there and do a date, a little date stamp. All right, now I'm going to come back. I'm going to, come back in and just press all those down so they will stay. List first, then decorate. So that's an interesting, you guys. That is an interesting question. Karen said, who decorates first and list after, or list first and decorates after? So it looks like I list on a Post-it what I want to do and then do it. Great. A couple people do that. So that's kind of what I did. But normally, you guys, if I was just listing by myself, I would not kind of do this ahead of time. I wouldn't sit down and make my list ahead of time. I would just start to decorate and start to play and then go. Remember, no right or wrong. You do you. It all works. All right, aspen trees. Next one. The Park City Arts Festival. I think I talked before, maybe in last week's. My uncle still is an artist, actually both of my uncles, and that's what took us to Park City. My uncles were both living there, and we went up for a summer vacation, and while we were there, my dad decided he was going to leave the Navy. My parents decided they were going to move to Park City, and they bought a house there. We went back to Texas and packed everything up and moved. There is something every year that happens, and this has happened since at least, well before 1978, because that's when we moved to Park City. There is an arts festival, and it happens the first weekend in August every year, with the exception of this year. Did not happen. The arts festival, they close down Main Street, and there are artist after artist after artist with booths on Main Street, and it is a juried arts festival, which means you have to apply to exhibit, I guess. And anyhow, it's really neat, and it just really reminds me of being a kid, because the whole summer was spent helping my uncles kind of get ready for that. And one of my uncles was a potter, and anyhow, long story, but Park City Arts Festival. The next one, and this is what we called it. The free bus. It was the free bus. So they had local public transportation. Now I have to tell you guys, Park City, when we moved there back in the late 70s, had no stoplights. I mean, it was a very small town back then. And public transportation was pretty minimal. There was a bus, and it was a free bus. So you could get on the bus at any time you wanted, get off the bus at any time you wanted, and you didn't have to pay. Well, you couldn't get off. Okay, let me stop there. There were bus stops, but because it was such a small town, a lot of times the bus drivers, if you wanted them to, stop in a particular place, then they would stop there. But the free bus. So I remember when I was a kid, Mom, I want to go over to Debbie's house. Take the free bus. And so you would just always get on the free bus. I don't know if the free bus, I know there's a trolley now. But it might still be the free bus. So it's kind of a neat thing. All right. So these next hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, wanted to make sure because these two are going to go together. The first one is the bookmobile. I loved the bookmobile. You guys, since I was a little kid, I have been a voracious reader. I love to read. When I was little, I read a lot. I won a contest, and I was in the local newspaper, the Park Record, because I read the most number of books in my school over a certain period of time, whatever. Anyhow, love to read. The bookmobile was a little RV type thing that would drive around, and it was like a little portable library. And oh my gosh, I loved the bookmobile. And I would go and I would check out as many books as they would let me check out. So the bookmobile was definitely a favorite. The one that kind of relates to that was a place called Dolly's Bookstore. Now, there are quite a few things in Park City that have changed, but Dolly's Bookstore is still there. And there's a woman who owned it, and her name was Dolly. And it was a very short walk from our house, and I would go there all the time, even just to spend time there, because I loved books, I loved to read, and being in a bookstore was just a really cool thing. Okay, the next thing is called the Egyptian Theater. And it is a very cool old theater that now, well, back in the day, they used to do all kinds of local productions, local plays and things. And my mom and dad were in a couple of them way back then. My dad played saxophone, and so he was in the orchestra of one of the plays. And I will never forget, the play was, I'll think of it. It's totally escaping me. However, if my mom is on, Mom, if you're on, pipe in. The orchestra, everyone in the orchestra, I think they were men, and they all had to dress up as women as part of whatever the play was. And I'll never forget, my dad had nylons on with his hairy legs and had heels on. I don't know where he found them back then. Had painted his fingernails, but it was so fun. So the Egyptian Theater now, though, still holds near and dear memories, because the Egyptian Theater now is where they show quite a few of the films during the Sundance Film Festival. Okay, the next one, and it happens to be right next door, or almost right next door to the Egyptian Theater, is still the Red Banjo Pizza Parlor. And this was like your old-fashioned pizza parlor that had the tables with the red and white checkered tablecloths. And again, Park City was a very small town. So you could walk to most places in town. Oh, I need a quick sip of coffee. Hang on. You could walk to lots of places, and we would walk to Red Banjo Pizza and have pizza, and we'd have pepperoni pizza. And this is where I learned to love lemon on pizza. And when I say lemon on pizza, not the thin little lemon slices on pizza, but you take a lemon and squeeze the juice on the pizza. Oh my gosh, if you've never done that, next time you have pepperoni pizza, squeeze a little bit of lemon on your pizza. It is amazing. It's so good. All right. The last one is concerts at Park West. So it's no longer called Park West. It was a ski resort. The ski resort is still there. Hi, Veronica. Ski resort's still there, but basically, if we look at this picture where the barn is, it was this way. And it was basically at the foot of the ski resort. And you guys, they had the most amazing concerts. Now, this was in the 80s, so probably very tail end of high school and into college, but UB40 was there, English Beat was there, the Eagles were there, so many good concerts. Lilith Fair was there, and that had, oh my gosh, Sarah McLachlan. I mean, so many amazing artists. But the cool thing about it was that it was outdoors. I mean, it basically was like this, but ski resort, ski mountain behind you. So it was really, really cool. Okay, so things I heard about my hometown. You guys, that is it. Now, as I was kind of going through, as I was thinking of the things that I loved about my hometown, I mentioned that I was kind of waffling these things that I loved when I was there years ago or things I love now. So you could actually have two different lists. This could be things that you loved back then, things that you loved about it then, and things that you love about it now. Shawnee, Perks, Homestead. Oh my gosh, Homestead is very, very cool up in Heber. It's a really neat, Park City and surrounding areas, a really, really neat area. Karen, don't knock lemon on pizza until you try it, even if you just try it on a bite. Let's see. Veronica, you are very sweet. Hi, Laquita. I think I say that right. I don't know if it's Laquita or Laquita. I never know. I think I probably ask you every time, and you probably tell me, and I probably forget. All right, one other thing I'm going to pull out. Well, two things before I call this done. But you guys, I've talked about my Sharpie pens and how I can't ever run out of Sharpie pens. So, but there's a pen in here that I want to pull out. Where? Oh. Well, this is interesting. Oh, did I get rid of it when I cleaned this out? Hang tight. Oh. This is why I'm having trouble here, my friends. This is why I'm having trouble finding. All right, this is the one I want. So this goes back here. This goes back here. But again, at least things are organized, so I know where to find them. I wish I could say that for everything in this room, but I can't. All right, the reason I was searching for this pen, and I will link to this. I know, Shawnee, but really, it's one of those things that, you can tell when they start to get a little bit old because the pen starts to not write as well, and then it instantly goes in the trash, and I grab a new one. So this is a pen made by Zig, and it is a photo signature pen. What that means is I can write on a photo. So what I am going to do, I'm going to keep this super basic because I have not, hang on. I don't want to do it on that one, hang on. I'm trying to find a photo. Oh, this will work. I just need to make sure that it's still good and working. All right, it is. So what this will let me do, this is looking kind of plain to me because especially for all of the white area. Now I'm not gonna draw a bunch of doodles or I won't hand draw some birds flying. But what I will do, I know you guys know what I'll do here. I will come in and I will do my outlining. So this pen is made to write on photos. If you follow Allie Edwards, Allie writes on her photos quite a bit and journals on her photos. So It's definitely something you can play around with. But if you want to do something like that, you want to have a specific pen. Nikki, it will be. You can always, is always in the videos, in our live videos, are the ones that you and I do together. In our live videos, you can watch the full video. You can watch the replay after, and they don't go away. Sam just came in. You leaving? Okay. Just call Grandpa and tell him you're on your way. All right? Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. All right. Okay, lights back in. All right, now something I will never understand about teenage boys or boys this time of life. It is going to be probably 95 today, and he is getting ready to head out of the house with a knit beanie on his head, which I totally get, and it's cute, and it's fashion, but oh my heavens. Like half the time I feel like I can barely wear pants because it's so hot. And that's partly me too. All right, anyway, I will remember to link this pen. So if you want to try writing on your photos, that pen works. So last thing I will do is date. So this one, I think that date stamp is going to be too wide. You're leaving again?
Yeah, I changed tabs.
Oh, you changed tabs.
Well, I thought about it, and like, Mom, before you even said that, I'm like, it's gonna be really hot. I'm wearing pants today.
Were you going to say that Mom is right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Did you guys hear that? We can record that for posterity. He just said Mom is right.
The first time in forever.
Jen who? Stickers. So Linzel, I think you're asking about these. I have linked to the stickers in the description of the video down below. I've also linked to these stickers. These are what I used for hometown.
Mom,
Yes, sweetie.
don't forget about my cat.
Okay. All right.
You need to have much
Okay. Thank you. All right. So different date stamp because I need this to be a little bit smaller for my space right there. So today is August. Well, today's the 8th, August. All right. Now, black. Tracy, yes, I also am a woman of a certain age. I always run hot. I like to call it my own little personal summer. Always own little personal summer. Yep, it's just what happens. And that's why I always okay, 08, August 2020. It is the 8th, right? Make sure. Oh, hold on. My watch, hang on. I'm pretty sure it's the 8th. We hope it's the 8th. And here's the thing, guess what? If it's not the 8th, then you know what? No one is ever going to know that I did this on the 8th or the 7th or the 42nd or whatever it is, right? All right, so I'm going to put this right. Oh, actually, hang on. Before I do that, I'm about ready to run into trouble. I can tell. Oh, where's the other one? Hang on. There we go. All right. My little stamping board. I needed to have that out. So I need to link to that one too. Okay, here we go. But I put that little plastic thing underneath so that I have a flat surface to stamp on. All right, there we go. 08 August 2020. And our first list is done. D-O-N-E or D-U-N, depending on how you look at it. Oh, yeah. Okay, and I put that pen away. All right, so thank you guys, the 8th. Jacqueline, isn't that funny? All girls, even your dog. In my house, all boys, all men. Well, they're men now. All men, including the cat. We, at one point, had 2 cats and both males. So I am definitely the only female in our household. All right. So that's good because then I can still maintain my princess status, right? Okay, next one. Our next list, guilty pleasures. Sometimes if you had the list prompts ahead of time and you are looking at your list and you're like, ooh, guilty pleasures. Like what are guilty pleasures? Now, I have to caution you. If you Google guilty pleasures, you have to be careful what you click on, because apparently there are many kinds of guilty pleasures. I didn't click on any of the ones that I had a feeling I didn't want to see. Anyhow, one of the things though that I did see, it said something about, I think it was Dave Grohl, the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He said that some quote about guilty pleasures should never be guilty because you should just do what you want, right? So I'm the queen. Oh, Veronica, thank you. Next time I'll wear my, Google with caution. Next time I will wear my tiara. Okay, so anyhow, guilty pleasures. If in a situation like this, if you ahead of time were like, guilty pleasures, gosh, I don't have any, or oh my gosh, they're all food related, or whatever it is, Google is your friend. Sometimes you are having a hard time thinking of what your guilty pleasures are, but once you start reading some other people's, you're like, oh yeah, I do that. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah. So don't be afraid to go to Google and get some ideas from what other people's guilty pleasures are, because they may be yours too. They're just not coming to mind. Foo Fighters. Oh, you know what? I think you're right. What? Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. Okay, you're probably right. You're probably more right than I am, Carol, I'm sure. How do I keep my stickers organized? Cheating on your keto, Jacqueline. Yes, and Nirvana. What? No, not Nirvana. Nirvana? Okay, I'm totally confused now. I thought Kurt Cobain was Nirvana. Now I realize he's no longer living. All right. Really quickly. Sandy asked, how do I keep my stickers organized? I will show you that in a minute when I go to pull something out. One of the things that's on my to-do list, you guys, is to do some organization videos, because quite a few of you have asked, how do I keep this organized? How do I keep that organized? So I maybe this week I'll start, maybe I'll try to do one a week, and I could start with stickers. So, oh, Nirvana first. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Mandy, look at you. Drummer in Nirvana. Okay. Quarantine 20. Veronica, I am so right there with you. It's like the freshman 15 or the freshman 20. It's just the quarantine. Yes. Look at you guys. All of your... Oh, Colleen. I love that. Jason. And I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I certainly know who he is, right? All right. Okay, guilty pleasures. So yes, you guys can see that as people are listing out their guilty pleasures, it can be anything. It can be food, it can be beverages, it can be people, shopping, whatever. All right, so guilty pleasures. I am going to use one of these stickers from the Avenue Stickers. Incidentally, you guys, and if you are looking at these stickers thinking, gosh, I really like that style, there's something that I like about this style, I will pull something out and show you probably why you like it. Because these stickers that I've used before that are also in my store, the little girl that I used let's see, I've used quite a few of her. That little girl, also Jen Hadfield. Oh, take that out. And where did the other little girl go? I used her for something, I don't know. Anyhow, but then that's not even the one I was looking for. I'm going back to my little organization here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yes, here we go. And actually I will show you now, Sandy, I think Sandy was asking how I organize my stickers. These little plastic pouches. I will link to these as well, but they all fit very nicely, and I have a ton of these little pouches, so I just categorize them. But you guys remember these stickers, right? The sloth and the little, I've used quite a few of these, little porcupine. Anyhow, those are all Jen Hadfield. And so if you like this style, that's who you like, Jen Hadfield. And I have all three of those on my website. All right, so you can see that I like them too. Anyhow, this sticker I love. This to me just looks like she's so carefree and just having fun. I thought that's like the perfect guilty pleasure. Maybe her guilty pleasure is swinging. My guilty pleasure is not swinging. I haven't been on a swing in years. Especially the swings that have a fixed seat. And the older you get, the harder it is to squeeze your hips into that fixed seat, right? All right. This is a one-page list. So we'll come in. And we don't want this in the way. Do this. All right. So what I thought would be fun with her, because she is, well, she's swinging, but her swings end, right? Or no, her swings don't end. The top of her swing, those little chains or whatever they are, they end. So I thought it would be fun to put her right over here. She kind of looks like me, huh? She's far skinnier than I am, but she has blonde hair. So there we go. There we go. So I thought she would be fun to, she looks like she's on a trapeze. She looks like she is fun and carefree. And so I thought that would be great to have her hanging off of the top of my page. So anytime you have a sticker or something like that, that has an end, not an end to it. How do I say this? It just kind of abruptly stops. That's a trick. You can have it go off the page so it's not so obvious. Like if I put it right here, it would be okay, but it might be kind of weird because then she's hanging from no man's land, right? All right, so there we go. Guilty pleasures. So I think what I need here for my title, sometimes I hand do my titles or just write them, right? Sometimes I use different stickers. Mostly I use different stickers. So what I'm going to do here is alpha stickers. And Sandy, this is where I was going to start. This is another one of the little pouches, and I just organize them according to what I'm putting in. So these alpha stickers from Simple Stories. You guys know that I love these. Yellow. You guys, I do the yellow all the time. I can't do the yellow. Let's see what I might do down below though. For washi. Oh, that reminds me. This washi, well, a lot of the washi that I have out here, that washi is from the Avenue washi that I have in my store. So I think there's 7 or 8 different rolls of washi. These are from that set. I think these guys too. Anyhow, but this one, that house, that is the kind of line art that we saw similar to what I used, the little houses I used. All right, so let's see what kind of washi I might want to use here. I liked that. I pulled that color out ahead of time because that goes really well. So let's do that. Oh, I know. Okay. My navy stripe. Hang on. I just have to find this one. My washi is not really organized. That will take me a long time to organize it. It's one of those rainy day things, but there never seems to be a rainy day. All right. So we're going to put the navy down first. And then we'll put in the details down second. And that works because it kind of matches her. That's weird. So I'm going to pull this off and I need to shorten it. The reason I'm going to pull it off, for me, it looks unbalanced. Usually I have the longer one on the bottom and a little bit shorter on the top. So that is why I might as well explain what I'm about to do because you probably would wonder why I was doing what I was doing. So I will actually cut it off from this side. Tear it off from that side and go right there. There. All right. So we have our little washi, and that's just something that I do on most of what I do. You guys know that. All right. So I wanted to do that first because that will now limit what I put there. I was going to use that color, but now there would be too much of that and that and that. So what I will probably gravitate towards, you guys will not be surprised here. I know Debbie, if you're on, I think I saw that you're on, Debbie Pettit, you will know this because you know exactly where I'm going with this. I'm going to the yellow because that's just what I do. The yellow. All right, so guilty pleasures. The whole title will be that. So I'm going to start backwards. So I will start backwards to make sure that I have enough. Actually, we'll start backwards with the bottom, with pleasures. So if you guys have been talking about guilty pleasures, I've been missing them. You could, right, Sarah, great. You could also, if you're using something like that, you could have either she could go off the top of the page, she could be swinging from a banner. If you were working on a layout and you didn't want to put her at the top of the page, you could have she could be hanging off a photo. So you could have a photo and she could be hanging off the photo. Just try not to leave her hanging. Too funny. I am your guilty pleasure on Saturday mornings. I love that. That's sweet. Okay, so pleasures. This is going to define, the reason why I decided I better start with pleasures is I don't have enough room in here. And if I start here for pleasures, then I have enough room for guilty too up here. So let's see what is going to happen. We might have to move a few things around spacing wise. Let's see what we get. P L Notice how I have just barely tacked them down here at the bottom, but not right here, so that if I need to move them, it will be really easy for me to move them. Now, we've also talked about before doing things like I could line all my letters up on a ruler like this and then come in and then just place them anywhere and then kind of go like that. So that's another thing I could have done, but I didn't. But we'll leave that there for now. P-L-E. A. So now this could be dangerous, you guys. This listing session could be dangerous because if you guys are talking about your guilty pleasures and someone reads something and they don't know even what that is, like jurist, someone could read yours and go Starbucks drinks, caramel macchiato, dragon fruit mango with coconut milk. Be like, oh my gosh, what is a caramel macchiato? And then go to Starbucks and say, I need a caramel macchiato. And then you drink a caramel macchiato and go, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? So we could be encouraging guilty pleasures here, but you know what? That's okay. We are encouragers. We're enablers. I can be an enabler. Pleasures. Oh, it looks like I might just fit perfectly, which will be awesome. Pleasures. I think we're going to fit. Don't we love it when that happens? Come on. All right, and then our E. The insert that I'm using, this is from the Dot Grid pack. So it's a pack of 2 inserts. No, blank grid. Blank grid. So 2 inserts, one of them is blank and one of them has grid. Anytime that you have lines on something like this, cheat. And what I mean by cheat is use them. Use them to help you make sure you're lining things up straight if you want them to be straight, right? They're built-in lines, so I might as well take advantage of that. All right, guilty pleasures. Well, there's the the pleasures. Now, I think what I want to do I think I want this all to be right justified. So we are going to see what this looks like. G-U-I-L-T. Okay. Spelling backwards. Here's the thing. When you are spelling backwards, well, we're going to see here. I may not end up that way. When you're spelling backwards, don't be afraid to write your word down. I know you know how to spell, but if you write it down, then sometimes when you're going backwards, that's why you hear me repeat it so many times, G-U-I-L-T. If you write it down, then you can obviously make sure that you're spelling things correctly backwards. I just don't know. I think it's going to be funny, but we'll see. We can move them if we need to. G-U-I-L, G-U-I. Oh, I did not have enough caffeine this morning. G-U-I, G-U. Okay. This is the set that I'm using, the alpha stickers, they're the bolds. So there are 4: brights, lights, basics, and bolds. And I use them all. But there are, I've listed them in the description of the video as well. Because I have them. Yeah, that's not going to work. It needs to be centered. That's the type A part of me coming out. If this thing was entirely left justified, it might have been okay, but it's more looking centered, so I will move them. Oh, and look at that. If I'm careful, I can move 2 at a time. And let's hope that I'm centered now. Centered-ish, right? Centered-ish. Because it's not centered. Yeah. All right. We know me. Sorry, you guys. I know it's like watching paint dry as I move letters around, but that's just the way the process works, right? They don't always land in the right place. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So we just move things around. If it bugs you like it does me. And some of you are like, just leave it. Which sometimes I do. And now I've probably gone too far over. And if I've gone too far over, I will not replace them again. I'll wait and do it later. Measuring sometimes is a good thing, but sometimes it's too lazy to do it. All right. That's close enough. Guilty pleasures. Oh, heavens. Okay. Let's see. Missing lots of things. Oh, look at Karen. That's good. So you had you're still working on your summer tea and insert. Your page title is Summer Treats. You just added your guilty pleasures as a subtitle. That's good. Ooh, vanilla Coke. Ooh, Celestial Seasonings. You guys are talking about tea. Amazon shopping. Oh, yes. Breyer's homemade vanilla ice cream. Sonic on Seat and Tea. Ooh, that sounds good. All right. So our guilty pleasures for this one. New stamps. New stamps that came in this week. These are the day-to-day stamps from Crate Paper. I have linked these in the description of the video as well. I usually use one of 4 different methods when I am listing for numbering or bulleting or, identifying different items on my list, depending on what kind of look I want. So, sometimes you see me use number stickers, and sometimes I'm using the number stickers that are part of the alpha sticker sheet. Sometimes I am using numbers from the numbers sticker sheet, and I've used these quite a bit, but tons and tons and tons of different numbers. Also on my website. Sometimes you see me use the centers of the hole reinforcers as like little bullets from the tab sticker tablet. Sometimes you see me do what I did on this list where I'm using some kind of embellishment, and other times I use number stamps. So I thought these number stamps were so fun for a couple of reasons. These are awesome for if you are using traveler's notebook inserts that are the daily or the weekly or the monthly, and you need to date your inserts because the Carpe Diem ones, the ones that I carry, are blank. They're undated, I mean. These are great little stamps for numbering. I just saw, you guys give me a heads up, make sure that you are still there, that I'm still here. I just saw my little iPad screen spinning for a sec. So someone give me a heads up and say, still here. Okay, thank you, Karen. I saw Diane say yes, but I'm not sure what she was saying yes to. Okay, anyhow, so they're great for dating your inserts. But then I thought these are awesome, those little numbers, because those are great things to use on my list. So that is what I am going to do. Now, I'm going to try a couple different things here. I haven't played with these yet, but like I said, they just came in. So I want to try a couple of things, a couple of different looks. So there's my one. Okay, so I could either go like that and just use my black ink and leave it really plain, or I could color them in with colored pencils. As I pull out my giant colored pencil thing, we've talked about this before. All of my, okay. This is put the lid back on, Lael, or that was going to be a disaster. So colored pencils, lots and lots of different colored pencils. I did just bring in small sets of colored pencils to my website. And the reason I did that, I've been looking for a little while, a smaller set of colored pencils that I could take with me on the road, because this, when I'm traveling, let's be honest, this is like as big as my makeup case. Well, not all makeup, but like toiletries and stuff too. That's way too big to take with me. So I thought, a nice little set of colored pencils with that little tin case to take. So let's see. And I haven't used these yet either. No yellow, too much yellow, maybe a navy. I don't know. Navy, it's probably going to be too hard to see. And that's not really navy, but I don't know what that one looks like yet. So let's look. And that's not a navy, really, but that actually might not be bad. It's too dark. It's harder to see. So I am going to leave this one, I think. I don't know. Here's the thing. I can always come back in and color them in later if I like. So I will, the one other thing I am going to try, and I never do this, you guys, I am going to try some colored ink and see if I like how that looks. Surprise, you can tell I tend to gravitate towards sometimes things that are very, just neutral-ish, right? I don't get out of my comfort zone very often, which I need to. So let's try it. Let's see what happens. I should have brought my little cleaner out. Let's see what this is going to look like. So it might still have a little bit of the, pressed way too hard. All right, well, let's look. So there is, if I use that pink, okay, I'm going to use the pink because I am coming back to this sticker sheet, and I am going to use this little one that says sweet. And sweet, let's see, put that back on. If I bring a little bit more black in, then I don't think I want to also have black numbers, because that will be a lot of black, especially since my journaling will also be black. So sweet works, really all of my, they're not all the guilty pleasures are sweet, but sweet could mean sweet treats, but sweet could also mean like sweet, like cool, sweet. All right, so the last one, I pretty much decorated everything first and then made my list. Here I'm going to partially decorate, and then I will make my list, and then I will come back and I think add a few other things. Totally changing. Oh, okay, danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Oh, hold on. Guess what? I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. Here we go. So let's move. I was working off of the camera, so sorry about that. So you really didn't even see what I was doing, but now you can see me remove them. My guilty pleasure list here is actually all right. My guilty pleasure list is totally changing. It's going to be a run-on list. It is not going to be a numbered list. I'm going to use the numbered stickers on my next list, or the numbered stamps on my next list, because I want to put this in the middle. This is me like totally like throwing caution to the wind, because I never do something like this where I put something in the middle, because it goes against my brain for some reason. But that's going to be there. That's off to the side. These are off to the side. Totally talking to myself, but not really, because you guys are with me. Okay, so run-on list. Where's my list? Okay. What I mean when I say a run-on list, I have I'm trying to think if I have one really close by in here. And I don't think I do. But really, run-on list is where I'm just going to start writing. And then I will kind of fill in after the fact. So I'm not making kind of a list that would start at the top of the page on the left and go down. Okay. I'm reading to see what you guys are saying. Okay. Yeah, that's my first one. Reading. Reading is a guilty pleasure for me. I said I used to read a lot. When I go on vacation, I take a Kindle because I can load as many books as I want. After years of not having when Kindles didn't exist, and going on a vacation and taking like 6 or 8 books, seriously, because I read very fast. And I like to read when I'm on vacation. Now, I don't read a lot anymore, unfortunately, and I love it. And I still buy books, and I still have them on my nightstand or on the underneath my nightstand, and I still have my Kindle. It's just that there's always other things I feel like I should be doing or can be doing or need to do. So reading is a guilty pleasure for me. If I ever run into you on an airplane and I don't know you, I don't know that I know you, and we are sitting down on an airplane, I instantly sit down. Well, it's been a long time since I've been on an airplane. Long time in my world, months. I sit down, I put my headphones on, and I get my book out, or I get out my Kindle and I read. And it's not because I don't like you, and it's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's because that is like my read guilty pleasure time. So, all right, reading. The next one is wine at lunch. She needs to go over here. Wine at lunch. So that is drinking wine at lunch. No, trust me, I don't do that. It's very rare that I do that. It's not like I'm like, oh, when we're done with listing class today, I'm going to go have a glass of wine with lunch. No, it's that if maybe you're on vacation and you're out to lunch and you have a glass of wine, or I go out to lunch with girlfriends and I think I'm going to have a glass of wine. That is like a guilty pleasure, because normally I don't drink during the day. Well, coronavirus, my coffee doesn't have anything in it, but I'm having another sip. Okay. But yes, wine at lunch for me is a guilty pleasure. Here's another one. Well, really, going out to lunch, at least in the middle of a week, is a guilty pleasure. So this is going to tie into that a little bit. Shopping in the middle of the day. Now, this one goes back to my career, I guess. I have always worked. And up until the last year and a half, I always worked out of the home. And well, actually, that's not true. Well, it is true. I worked for Simple Stories for 6 years up until April of 2019. And for the 6 years that I worked at Simple Stories, I worked from home. But I've always had a day job, always worked. And so for me, anytime, like if I ever went shopping in the middle of the day, it was like a guilty pleasure. Now, even though I own my own business and I work for myself, for me, if I go out shopping in the middle of the day, it just feels like, oh, I'm shopping because it's the middle of the day. And normally, if I would ever go shopping, it was never the middle of the day because I would be at work. So shopping in the middle of the day is a big guilty pleasure for me, even though I can do it whenever I want. Chocolate. Chocolate. Not the dark kind, not the white kind. The milk chocolate kind is my favorite. Let's see. I have a little space there. Let's see if I have one that has a short word or starts with a short word. We'll do this. A third, I said 3, cup of coffee. So mostly I have 2 cups of coffee a day, a morning. I have 2 cups of coffee, but having a third cup of coffee seems like a guilty pleasure. It's like, oh, I might have another cup of coffee. Britta, 10% cream in your coffee. Oh yes, right? Cream in the coffee too. Real cream, that's definitely a guilty pleasure. Diet Coke with chocolate syrup. Oh, I've never tried that. Reading, buying scrapbook supplies, coffee, reality TV, ice cream, wine, top 40s music. Oh, look at all this. Is that how I met Corey the Reset Girl? Deb Farnham's. I missed the, oh, okay. I know, that was probably you're asking, is that how I met Corey when I worked at Simple Stories? Yes and no. Interesting. So the way that I met Corey was about 5 years ago. She was doing something called Lister's Got a List, and I've talked about that quite a few times before. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a bad way at all, Deb. But she was doing a thing called Lister's Got a List, and I got very involved in that and was participating. And so that's how I got to know her. And then I started sending her a couple of products that Simple Stories had and said, hey, I thought you might like to use these. These would be kind of fun in your list and what you're doing. And so then she and I kind of started talking on a business level. And then very long story short, Simple Stories did a co-branded line of products with Corey and produced them and took them to market. So yes, kind of in a way, that is how I got to know Corey. All right, third cup of coffee. The next one, right. And this is kind of it's a bit guilty pleasure, but it's also a bit work. Instagram. I have a very, 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 very bad habit of, well, this part isn't a bad habit. I wake up early. I am one of those early birds and night owls at the same time. So I wake up early no matter what. I usually wake up, like this morning I woke up at 5:45, and it's just kind of what happens. And the habit I have gotten into is I wake up, I instantly put on my glasses and I get my phone and I start looking at Instagram. And for me, that's kind of how I wake up. So that is a guilty pleasure. That whole kind of routine of waking up and being on Instagram is a guilty pleasure. Now, but it's also, part of it is also work, because that is part of how that's just social media and that's what I do. So it's a good guilty pleasure, but then sometimes it also hangs over my head. It hangs over my head if I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to come up with what I'm going to post on Instagram today. And then it hangs over my head. But for the most part, it is guilty pleasure. It's one of those mindless scrolling sometimes. And sometimes we just need that mindless, don't think about anything. And if Instagram is it for you, that's good. It is for me. All right, so next, Steak Shake. Oh, chocolate Coke. See, that's so interesting. Have never tried. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if I will be brave enough to try that. All right. Okay, I'm out of list here. I'm out of order. Reading, wine, shopping, milk, chocolate, Instagram, third cup of coffee. Oh, another one. Singing in the car. I am not a singer. I do not have the voice to be singing. But in the car, I'm the best singer ever. Lemon pizza. Yes, Karen, lemon pizza. I'm going to expect to hear from you one day. Karen, you're going to contact me and say, guess what? I tried it and it's amazing. And I just saw something that Karen H wrote, 7-Eleven Slurpee. That is going on my list totally. Forgot about that one. Okay, singing in the car. Love to do it. When our kids were little, I would be driving them around and I'd be singing. And when they got a little bit older, they learned, I don't know, probably my husband taught them this, I'm sure. Nick probably taught them this. Mom, who sings this song? And I'd be like, oh, that's Bon Jovi. And they'd be like, why don't you let him sing it? Yeah. So, not a singer, but I like to sing in the car. This one, I love, love, love. Guilty pleasure for me is buying, fresh. Sometimes I write faster than I'm thinking. Buying fresh flowers for myself. We did the flowers list, you guys, a couple weeks ago. I love, love, love fresh flowers. And for me, a guilty pleasure is buying fresh flowers. And to some people, it may seem like a waste of money, but for me, it is definitely a guilty pleasure. And it's kind of turned into a not so guilty pleasure. It's just kind of turned into a pleasure because I buy fresh flowers a lot. And my husband knows that I like them. And so he buys fresh flowers a lot. Now, you can find a way for your guilty pleasures to be not so guilty if you shop around. So for example, we rarely buy flowers from a florist. Love florists, totally support florists. They're an important part of our food chain. But I cannot afford to always buy fresh flowers from a florist. So Trader Joe's has amazing flowers. And if you have a Trader Joe's near you and you like flowers, then go check out Trader Joe's. Roses from your garden. There you go, Joellen. That's even better, right? Because they don't cost at all. And you know what? It all comes back to whatever is important to us. We figure out. So maybe if I decide, well, I don't want to eat this week, I'm going to have flowers. No, not really. Clearly the not eating doesn't ever happen. But you decide if you like caramel macchiatos from Starbucks, then you decide that you're not going to do something else maybe. Okay, the next one, cupcakes. I love cupcakes. And there's something about them that seems so like a guilty pleasure. I don't eat cupcakes very often because I don't ever really run into cupcakes very often. But someone offers you a cupcake, I'm like, oh, a cupcake, right? They just seem they're just fun. Okay, next one. This one, I could say reality TV, but there's really not much reality TV that I watch. There's one show that my husband and I both record, whatever. It's not record anymore. We don't have a VCR. We watch after it's, I don't know, Netflix, not even Netflix. I guess whatever it is, on demand. There we go, on demand. Ooh, you know what? That's another one. Chick-fil-A. I got to add that to my list. Okay. See, I knew ahead of time that this would I'd have a lot of things here, so that's why I decided to do the run-on. The one reality TV show that I love to watch, my husband and I watch it together, Nick and I watch it together, it is watching $1 Million Listing. And that is both the LA version and the New York version. So, does anybody watch $1 Million Listing? You guys will have to chime in the comments. Those of you that are not watching live, if you are watching on replay, please play with us in the comments after the video, after we've done the live. In the comments, pipe in. Say one of your guilty pleasures, or say one of your favorite things about your hometown. So I can feel like you guys are participating too. All right, DVR, not DVDs. DVR. Yes, DVR. All right, $1 Million Listing. So I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to wait for someone to say, yes, they watch $1 Million Listing. No cable or dish. Tiny house. Sandy. Okay, Sandy, $1 Million Listing. So on the New York one, and he's now also starting on the LA one. Frederick. So you know Frederick, the Swedish guy? I saw him in the airport last year, and he's very tall, and he had his little entourage with him, his husband, and he had his entourage with him. But I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Frederick. Yeah. Okay. $1 million listing. The next one is disco music. I love disco music. I was a teenager, young adult in the wrong era. Love, love, love disco music. And I especially love singing disco music in the car. And I also, guilty pleasure, I like to dance to disco music too, but I'm not a very good dancer, just like I'm not a very good singer, unless I have a couple of glasses of wine. Now, if I have a couple of glasses of wine, I don't think I dance any better. I think it's just that I think I dance better, right? Okay, next one. And this may be a Utah thing. It just depends, because when I say this, people are like, what is that? So let's try it. It is called fry sauce. Oh, that just reminded me of another one. Okay, fry sauce. Fry sauce, yeah, or that's it too, Karen, or I don't really care how I dance after a couple of glasses of wine. Fry sauce. So fry sauce seems to be a Utah thing. Fry sauce is a mixture of ketchup and mayonnaise. So it's kind of like a vodka sauce, but for French fries. So vodka sauce in pasta is a mixture. Ooh, that's one of my guilty pleasures too. Vodka, I better write down vodka sauce instead of just vodka. So vodka sauce is red sauce with cream mixed in. So it's kind of like a pink sauce. So fry sauce is like a pink sauce, but for French fries. So good. Again, Karen C. Now add that to your list. Lemon on pizza and fry sauce. Eating candy corn. Oh, I love candy corn too, Helene. And now I've learned too, it's either, that's the quickest way to like divide a group is who likes candy corn and who doesn't. And there is a very specific way of eating candy corn. For me, you bite off the little top part, and then you bite the middle part, then you bite the bottom part. Okay, fry sauce. Oh, and since we're talking about food, how about bacon? Gotta love you some good bacon. Crispy bacon. I don't like the, all floppy bacon. Crispy bacon. Okay, the next one. Not Chick-fil-A yet, chick flicks. I love me a good chick flick. And if you, now don't really rewind, but if you rewind, theoretically, to part of our conversation earlier, living in a family of all men or all males, chick flicks, I do not get to watch very often. So, chick flicks. That will also lead me to one of the biggest guilty pleasures of all. And I bet there are lots of you on this class, video, whatever, that would agree with me. Now I got totally sidetracked because someone said Tim Hortons ice cap. Yes, my friend Vicky, you'd be so very proud if I mentioned that. Tim Hortons ice cap. That's going on my list too. Iced cappuccino, so good. Now we really kind of don't have Tim Hortons in the States. Now I know there are kind of in a certain few places, but really not. It's more of a Canadian thing. And someone just mentioned this, Bridget. That is exactly where I was headed. How did you know? Hallmark Christmas movies. And that is one that Nick, my husband, thinks I am an idiot. But you know what? That's okay, because he watches things that I think make him an idiot too. Hallmark Christmas movies. And you guys are so cheesy. They're the exact same big city girl meets small town boy and they fall in love and then something happens and then they break up, but then in the end they get back together, right? And it's just Christmas. So Hallmark Christmas movies. Yes, yes, yes. All right. What else do we have? We have, oh, yes, this one. Beach reads. And I call them beach reads. They are like chick flicks, but in book form. A book that you would take to the beach and just read. I could also call those airplane reads because when I'm on an airplane, now I read my share of self-help books or nonfiction books or travel books or whatever. But when I am my guilty pleasure reading, it is reading beach reads. It is not reading, help yourself learn books. One of my favorite authors, and she's a friend of mine, oh my gosh, Courtney Walsh. Just totally lost her last name for a minute. Courtney Walsh. So you guys, Courtney, and if you don't know her, you can Google her. Courtney Walsh, Walsh. She, back in the day, was a scrapbooker, and that is how I know her. And she is a author. She's an author, and she does like what I call beach reads. But she has written, oh my gosh, I would say at least 10, but I love it. They're just good, nice, romantic, romantic stories. I just read romantic vampire books. Doesn't that sound like an oxymoron, Karen? Romantic vampire books. Yeah. Okay. So beach reads. Ooh, that just gave me an idea. Did I have this on the list? Let me see. This is my list of lists, you guys. So let me add this. Favorite chick flicks. And I won't do that now because we could go down a rabbit hole there. Oh, that just reminded me of one too. Favorite movie lines, because there is one of my favorite chick flicks is Still Magnolias. And one of my favorite, quite a few of my favorite movie lines are from that movie. And Wheezy, whatever her name is. Wheezy. Yeah, not Weezer. Weezer's a group. Wheezy. All right. So, little squirrel there for a minute. Beach reads. And then, okay, this is a weird one. Sexy vampire movies are great. Too funny. Oh, so, speaking of sexy vampire books and movies, oh my gosh, now I've totally, the Twilight series. So yes, Sophia Kinsella, love her. Very good. I'm totally, squirrel, but my head went squirrel. What was I talking about? I was talking about, not chick flick, something here. Oh, Twilight. The Twilight movies. So Sarah, we are talking guilty pleasures. We're not on favorite sitcoms yet. Twilight. So my friend Megan Hepner, she on Instagram the other day posted that she got the brand new Twilight book that is from Edward's perspective. Now, I read the Twilight books like fanatically when they came out, and that's been a long time ago. So I started thinking, gosh, should I read them all again and then read that one? Because I might be forgetting a lot of things. So, Twilight. Beach reads. Okay. Oh, yes, this one. Containers. I know that sounds really odd. You guys, I love containers. Whether they're bags. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of bags. Well, we already saw this, but I have lots of bags like this. Containers. Lots of things, little containers. Container. You saw this. Containers that I use to store my die cuts. The containers that I use to store my stickers. Containers in my pantry. Containers. I love containers. And probably maybe one of the reasons why I like containers is sometimes my life gets a little crazy and hectic, and I think probably on some weird psychological level that containers help me feel like I can keep order to things, maybe, right? Maybe. Okay. Stack of adorable containers, reorganizing. Yes, and Caroline, absolutely. Isn't that weird? A lot of times, and I think it's something this whole crafty thing. We all get pleasure. A lot of us get pleasure in organizing and reorganizing and organizing and reorganizing. And so containers are kind of a part of that. Yes, Debbie, the Container Store. That's like FAO Schwartz for people like us. All right, containers. Here is where I'll put Tim Hortons iced cappuccino. Cappuccino, I think that's right. Iced cappuccino. Okay. And I can tell you guys, my Sharpie, the Sharpie is, well, what happens is it doesn't necessarily, there's still ink in it, but the little nib starts to wear down. And that's why I probably have a lot of those. Tote bags. Terry, I am exactly like you. Tote bags. What is best 3 minutes of 2020? Can't find it. Okay. Ipsy bags. What's an Ips? Oh, you guys. Okay, hold on. I need to just, I don't know what an Ipsy bag is. I don't think. I will make a little note there to check and see what an Ipsy bag is. All right. Cute pens. I know. Cute pens. All right. Tim Hortons ice cap. Okay. Yes. Bread. Crackers. Really any kind of bread. Garlic bread. French bread. I like bread. I like bread a lot. And this is the sad thing is that in our world, why does bread have to be a guilty pleasure, right? Why do we have to feel guilty for having bread? And the other thing is cereal. Same thing. I love cereal. Cereal seems like a guilty pleasure. It's probably because as an adult women, we have been told our whole life, cereal is horrible for you because it has so many carbs. And bread is horrible for you because it has so many carbs. But you know what? As long as it's in moderation, half a box of cereal, that's moderation, right? At one sitting. Oh, Colleen, there you go. You're talking about the Toronto hockey game. I'm like, what? The last 3 minutes? What? All right, kiss nails. I don't know what that is either. Cereal for dinner. Yes. Crunch berries. No, crunch berries hurt the top of my mouth. Isn't that weird? Like the crunch berries, there's something about them that like dig into the top of your mouth. At least my mouth. It's probably because I have a really big bite I'm trying to shove in there. Let's see. Thrifting things. Oh, thrifting is fun. I agree, Debbie. Carb pasta. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Okay. Cereal. Okay, what else did I have here? Let me check my thing. I got Chick Flicks, right? Oh, all right. So now I have a few. Oh, yes, this one. Another Canadian wonder, poutine. Oh my gosh. Poutine, French fries, cheese curds, gravy. Oh my gosh, the most amazing thing ever. And probably guilty pleasure for me because, well, I'm sure they have poutine in the United States. It's everywhere in Canada, so I love it. Guilty pleasure, though, because you talk about unhealthy. French fries, cheese curds, gravy. That's like the trifecta of heart disease, but oh, so good. Okay, next one, 7-Eleven Slurpee. And I'm going to say 7-Eleven Coke Slurpee because those, and you know what? I have not had one of those in years, but yes. Love a 7-Eleven Coke Slurpee. Candy corn, that was another one. Candy corn. And we could do a whole, you guys, I could do a whole guilty pleasures just on food, right? Peeps. This is another one of those divides the room. I would be willing to bet if you like candy corn, you're also on the side that likes Peeps. Generally, those kind of people are the same. If you don't like them, then you don't like them. Ooh, cherry lime. Sixlets. Oh, Karen, now that's funny. Never. Sixlets, they taste like wax to me. Isn't that weird? Okay, so then, oh yes, I had Chick-fil-A, because someone mentioned Chick-fil-A. And it's kind of Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A sauce. And then in my head, I also call it Chick-fil-A. Because my friend Vicky Booten told me a story when she thought for years it was called Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. Instead of Chick-fil-A. And so anyhow, funny story, but I won't get into that. Chick-fil-A. Vodka sauce. So vodka sauce is a cream sauce for pasta. Vodka sauce. All right. So I have more guilty pleasures. I just haven't listed them. I don't know what they are right now. I have some more room here. So I will probably stop. These are sticking out. These are staring at me from across the room. Well, across the table. So okay. I know this is going to be weird. I need one more row, you guys. I need one more row of guilty pleasures. So, hit me. Hit me, hit me, hit me. Chick-fil-A, that's funny. Sam, while I'm waiting for you guys to give me some more. Oh, I know. Corn chips? Tortilla chips? What do you call them? You know, like the ones that you have with salsa or queso. What are those called? Oh, perfume. No, perfume's not a guilty pleasure because I wear it all the time. But what is that called? What are they? Corn chips. Oh my gosh, look at all these. Oh, Fritos. No, not those chips though. But I like Fritos. Chips and salsa. That's what I'll call it. Or chips and guac. That's what I mean. Chips, that kind of. Chips and guacamole. Okay. I need a few more. So while I'm thinking of a few more, oh, I know. Okay, hang on. Word strips. Word strips always come out about this time, right? The word strip stickers come out that I always use. Now, this is funny. When I said these sweet story stickers that I've had for a while and never used, when I pulled these out the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, look, there's a whole sheet of word strip stickers in the back of this little sticker book. So let's see what might work here. Oh, that would be cute. Okay, you're the best. Let's see if we can get in them. Oh, I'm back. Am I back? Am I back? Am I back? Am I back? Hello? Okay, you guys. Somebody pop in and tell me if you can hear me. I think I disappeared for a second. Am I here? Back now. Okay. Yeah, so guess what happened? The other thing that I needed to add to my list to make sure that I do before I start a video is to just turn my phone on Wi-Fi because the phone just rang. Now, let's backtrack to, let's say the third week in March, the third Saturday, which I think was March 21st, when I did my very first video. So you guys know that I've been doing these for a long time. You also know that Nick has participated in one way or another on these for a long time, right? So guess who just called me? Nick. He called me. He knows what I'm still doing. Ding-a-ling. He was golfing, so he's probably calling to tell me he's done. He probably doesn't realize that when he does that, that if I am filming, that it stops. You can't hear me. Anyhow, there we go. You're the best. Okay. I saw something. Oh, yes. Pedicures. Pedicure. That was another guilty pleasure that I treated myself to every couple of months. Now, I have not had a pedicure since probably February. And now I do my own. Well, I won't always do my own because there's something about, I know, Diane, he probably thought I was already done. I'm sure he did. No, way to go, Nick. Two Dianes. Both of you had good comments, one right after the other. Oh, yeah. Okay. Tracy, I'm wrapping it up with you. Pinterest. Okay, there we go. So there's our guilty pleasures, and I need to put a date there. So I am going to let's see. Oh, you know what I just saw? Looking at these stamps again, these would be great little bullets. So kind of like this, right? So like the little heart, you use a little heart stamp for bullets. The even that little asterisk stamp for bullets could be cute. Sorry, sidetracked. Okay, no, I'm totally sidetracked now. I will come back and add a date later, so we can move on. We can move on to our last list. So our last list, you guys, this is a long one today. We're 2 hours in already, and we've only done 2 lists. Chocolate covered sponge candy. What? Chocolate covered sponge candy. I don't know what that is. Rookie mistake, Nick. That's funny. All right. Cottage cheese with pineapple. Oh, YouTube Plan With Me videos. Wasted time, right? Okay. Third one. Our third list is favorite sitcoms. Favorite sitcoms. Now, just like this list, you guys, this could be your favorite sitcoms when you were a kid, your favorite sitcoms when you were a young adult, your favorite sitcoms now. It could be a mixture of all of those. If you have a lot of favorite sitcoms, then you could actually go in and have separate lists based on different timing. I have one list for my favorite sitcoms. Now, DTV, I pre-cut some things because, oh, look, I didn't intend to do that. But that is going to work. So, I had actually, let me double check. I had pulled out pre-cut one more piece of paper. Every once in a while, I like to mix it up a little bit. Where did that red go that I have? Hang on. Huh. I don't know what I did with it. I had a red and white piece of polka dot paper, and it is not here anymore. Isn't that drive you nuts? You're like, how did that happen? Oh, here it is. Got it. Okay. So, oh, the honeycomb. Yes. Okay. I know exactly what you mean now, Shawnee. I know exactly what you mean when you say the honeycomb. But now that I know when you say the sponge stuff, then that makes sense too. So, I may end up going red here just because the yellow now would be really probably too similar to what I have over here going. So that is what I am going to do. Every once in a while, well, you guys can tell, I have a very specific style. I do things, I use white a lot. There's white. That's just kind of my style. White, every once in a while I'll do this, but it's just not so much. So that's my style, and I'm sticking to it. That's good. But every once in a while, I want to mix things up. So I am going to have a little bit more color in this one. And I need to just trim that down really quick. So I'm going to move over to where my trimmer is. Bear with me for a second. That's easier than bringing it in. You guys remember this one. It's the back side of this paper that I used for the this or that list. All right, but we'll use this side. So before I do anything, I need to round the corners. Oh, look at them all coming. Here's another thing, you guys. Oh, wait, Nick wants to bring you home some food from the club. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so how do I do that? Well, I guess if he knows what I want, then he'll bring it. Otherwise, then it's not going to happen because how can I answer? I can't. That's fine. All right, so I need to just trim this a little bit. It was a little bit too wide for me. Okay, here we are again. There we go. So when we were talking about guilty pleasures over here, and I said, you know what? If you're having a hard time like coming up with things now that we've gone through this, we have lots of ideas. You guys shared lots of ideas. I shared my list. Same thing for sitcoms. If you are racking your brain going sitcom, sometimes you have a hard time remembering. And sometimes there are some that are stored way back in the recesses of your mind. Google it. Google favorite sitcoms or Google sitcoms, or you'll find lists that are the 10 most popular, the 20 most popular, the 100 most popular. Here's a little trivia. I looked at many lists online this morning about favorite sitcoms because I was curious to see what people's favorite sitcoms were. Oh, Nick is watching now. You guys, hello. Nick, I will have that, the Valley salad with grilled shrimp, please, and a roll. Thank you, honey. And thank you all for making sure that I eat. You guys, just say it. He's watching. He is so smart, right? Honey, you're so smart. I don't answer the phone, so you just hop on YouTube. What an interesting sign of the technology times, right? Okay. And then I needed white because I need white. I can't write on that. That would just be too weird. All right, so then I'm going to round this corner, and this is also a great way. If you are listing and you're not sure where you want, Nick, get something with fry sauce, poutine, a cupcake. Let's see, what else did I want? Oh, bacon. If you could go to Tim Hortons and get me an ice cap, a side of cereal and candy corn. Oh, a 7-Eleven Slurpee, a Coke Slurpee. Okay. Oh yes, Terry, we're still here. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where I was. I don't even know where my train of thought was. I totally lost it. Okay, anyhow, here we go. I'm putting this one down next because it has to be white. That's just what happens. It's always white. Okay, so come in here and outline. Just get a little bit of color in there. Change things up just a little bit, but not too much. Not too much, because we are creatures of habit, aren't we? All right, favorite sitcoms. So this very specifically, and I don't do this very often. I don't generally find stickers or search out stickers that would work for exactly the topic of my list. But I did this time. And the reason I did this time was because I already had this. I did a layout kit earlier this year, a scrapbooking layout kit with this family night collection. And I remembered that there were stickers of people watching TV. And I thought, you know what, that is perfect. So that is exactly what I'm going with. I don't sell these, but I have linked to them on the description, in the description of the video. If you want to take a peek at that collection. So I think these, I'm just thinking before I commit, you guys, so hang tight for a sec. Hang tight. They're going down. I don't normally go to the bottom like that, but I'm going to the bottom. All right, they're down. It is what it is. Oh, Terry, thank you. That's so nice. You know what? Here's the thing, you guys. Terry said, thank you for the motivation you give me to get out of my creative funk. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate you saying that, Terry. Here's the thing, you guys. One of the things I think that's so great about listing is that if you get in a creative funk, pull out some stickers, pull out some colored pencils, pull out some washi, even pull out your pen and doodle, whatever it is. It's a little list, right? It does not have to be, it's not like you're making a quilt. It is not like you are making a scrapbook layout. It's not like you are painting a painting. It's just fun. So I think sometimes we get so caught up in that, oh, it has to be perfect, or I don't feel like I have any motivation. This is a super easy project to kind of give you the permission to just play. And if you like what you did, great. And if not, guess what? Just turn the page. Sarah, Adam's Family counts. It's your list. Anything that you want counts. I remembered what, I know. What I wanted to say when I lost my train of thought a minute ago. If you are listing and you're not really sure where you want it to go in your book, or you don't really have a book yet, or maybe you are, on vacation and you just took some things with you and you don't have your insert with you, doing something like this, you can build the list without having your insert with you. So kind of basically what I just did, if I didn't adhere this, I could just have my list like that without having it in my book. So this is what I mean. And I covered this a couple weeks ago during one of our memory keeping in a traveler's notebook. So this I had started, but I didn't know where I was going to put it in my traveler's notebook yet. So I just made the pages by themselves. They're just standalone pages. And then when I decide where I want them to go, then I can come in and glue them in. So if you're not ready to commit or you don't really have a place to put it yet, just start making your lists. Don't let that stop you. All right, so for my title, I'm actually going to wait on my title because I might do a little bit of stamping, but I'm not sure what I want to do. So that's probably something that I may come back and do after we're done today. So let me move some of these things off to the side. But this, oh golly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have a lot. I might end up doing favorite sitcoms. Like, I think what I'm going to do, I think I might do maybe a favorite sitcoms then and now so that I can have 2 lists. So let me just really quick circle my ones that I want to do for then. Oh, well, that doesn't really help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knocked 5 off of my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. I'm just going to, this is sometimes dangerous. Who knows? I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm just going to go for it. So I am going to make my list from the bottom up. And then I can add my title and do whatever. So, and when I do this, all right, using those stamps, and I will use black. Okay, here we go. 10. And these are, again, no particular order, right? Oh. I'm just going to put that under just in case. Oh! Upside down. Let's not do that. That would not be good. 10. All right. This one. 10 on my list. And again, no particular order. Different strokes. Remember that? What you talking about, Willis? And this is how I remember it in my head as a kid. The really wealthy white man that adopted the 2 young African-American little boys. And I think they had a sister. That is how I remembered it in my head. And what's so funny about different strokes, what I said, what you talking about, Willis? Whoever that little actor was, well, I say little because he was a little boy then. Whoever that actor was, but that was the same thing. I think his brother was Arnold. He was Arnold. His brother was Willis. And he would always say that. What you talking about, Willis? All right, that's number 10. Did you guys watch that? And this is, Benson. Oh my gosh, totally forgot about Benson. Totally forgot. You guys, I missed some questions. I'm not sure what happened. So I missed some questions. Stamp pads. Are we talking about these little guys? If we're talking about those little guys, yes, those are from Stamp Market. I have a couple, I think, left on my website, trying to decide if I'm going to order more or not. So if you don't see them, or if you see that they're sold out, message me, text me, or send me an email and let me know if you want them, and then I can get them. Let's see. They've all passed away but Billis. Oh my God. Oh, right, because you know what? The girl, the daughter, didn't the daughter have, like, in real life, some pretty big drug problems, I think, now that it's all coming back. Benson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Benson. And now it's fun. You can probably find so many of these shows on syndicated television. All right. different strokes. Number 9. All right. Number 9 is Family Ties with Michael J. Fox. Oh, that was interesting. It's a little elliptical. Family Ties. So I just loved that family. I wanted that to be my family when I was a kid. And Michael J. Fox, how he was so like conservative. He was like the conservative young Republican when he seemed like he was about 10 years old. And the rest of the family was like so, his parents were so not. And then I think Jason Bateman, Justine Bateman, Jason Bateman's sister was in that. Let's see. Murder, She Wrote. What's the one with the black family? The mom was named Florida, and there were 2 boys. One about 10. Ooh, I don't remember that one. Jeffersons? Good Times. Oh, Good Times. Maybe. It is very sad that so many childhood stars die young, right? It really is. I think that they, the fame and the money and I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if that's still the case. Although childhood stars, I guess they're still childhood stars, but you don't seem to hear about as many of them. I guess back when we were in the day, it seemed like there were a lot of them, maybe just from all the sitcoms on regular TV. All right, number 8. Number 8 on my list, Mork and Mindy. Loved Mork and Mindy. Poor Mork. Poor Robin Williams. Mork and Mindy. Loved it. Number 7. Nanu Nanu, right? Didn't he do like this weird thing? Nanu Nanu. I can't do that with my fingers. Nanu Nanu. Mork from an outer planet. All right. Number 7. Oh, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I have not watched that. That is one I have never watched. I hear a lot of good things about it, but haven't watched it. MASH. Oh, MASH. So, yeah, so this is interesting. I mentioned that I had Googled, sitcoms. And MASH was on there, and I thought that was interesting. Because, yes, I realized it was a sitcom. It was. I just remember, being a kid watching MASH, and there was some really adult, from a number of perspectives, content. Adult because of the war. Adult, there were tons of sexual innuendos, right? I mean, tons of sexual innuendos. But in my head, I never really thought about that. And I guess it's because maybe I was a kid. I never really thought about that as a sitcom because it seemed so heavy. And then the theme song, The Suicide is Painless, I think was the theme song. Anyhow, but funny. And I think it'd be kind of an interesting thing to go back and watch as an adult. The Goldbergs. I don't know that one. Family Affair. Oh, Family Affair. That is an old one. But I know Buffy and Jody, the 2 little really blonde kids, right? Older, creative. So interesting, you guys. My 3 sons. Oh, Kim. Oh my gosh. And I loved My 3 Sons too. My 3 Sons and Family Affair. They were on kind of in that whole same area. Courtship of Eddie's Father. Oh my gosh, Kim, you were hitting me hard. Seriously. I loved those 3. I had totally forgotten about those. The Courtship of Eddie's Father. And the theme song to that one, I loved it. It was so good. The Courtship. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Number 7. Facts of Life. I think I saw a few of you mention that. Facts of Life with Blair and Joe and Tootie and Mrs. Oh my gosh, Mrs. What was her name? I can't remember. Mrs. Garrett. Yep, Mrs. Garrett. Facts of Life. And they all lived at a boarding school, and I thought that was so cool. And I thought, how come my life is so boring? Why can't I live at a boarding school? Isn't that funny that it glamorizes, in a lot of cases, sitcoms are glamorizing things. All right, Kim, I am replacing one of mine. I got to figure out which one I'm going to replace. But I am replacing one of mine with The Courtship of Eddie's Father because I loved that. And you know what's funny? I don't even remember much about that except a little boy with dark hair And I think the dad was divorced, or I don't know, divorced or widowed or something. But I remember the theme song to that. I'm going to have to go, after we're done, I need to go Google that, the theme song, because that theme song is going to bring back many memories in my head. Oh, okay, 6. That's the courtship of Eddie's father. Now, by going this way, by starting at the bottom, I've limited myself, right? I can only do 5 more. So I have limited myself. That's okay. I have to really choose. I've got to get picky. Some are going to have to, maybe a few of mine might have to come off the list. Brady Bunch. Oh my gosh, Jacqueline, how did I forget that? That's like my favorite ever. All right, now I'm in trouble. Now I'm in trouble. So Brady Bunch has to be there. That will be the next one because I love the Brady Bunch. So here's an interesting little fact. Mike Lukenland, who was Bobby, he went to the same college I did, University of Utah. I never met him, but he did. Now, this is another little interesting tidbit about Brady Bunch. So, what was I just, Peter. So Peter in the latter years, so I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, Peter had like a reality TV show where he was dating some model. That was very bizarre. And they would fight. Oh my gosh, they would fight. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Brady Bunch. I loved the Brady Bunch. So many episodes. Like the one, and it's funny because I actually remember teaching Jack and Sam, our boys, some things based on things I learned as a kid on the Brady Bunch. Like the episode when Marcia had the football, Greg threw the football and it hit her in the nose and she said, my nose. And she had, as part of the episode, been asked to the prom or something by a boy. And she said yes. And then later, the really cool boy asked her to the prom and she told him yes. And then went back to the big man on campus guy and said, no, she went back to the not as cool boy and said, I'm sorry, I can't go to the prom with you. Something suddenly came up. And then she got hit in the football with the nose and her nose was totally swollen and black and blue. And the cool big man on campus guy saw her and he's like, oh my gosh, Marcia, what happened to your nose? And he said, oh, I've been meaning to call you. I can't go to the prom because something suddenly came up. And that, I used that little story all the time with the boys on, if you get a better offer, doesn't matter in whatever it is in life. If you've already committed to something, you have to commit. Get a lot of my parenting advice from the Brady Bunch. Not really. Yep, the my nose. Not funny how we remember things like that. And then Marcia. When Jan wasn't happy because she felt like Marcia got everything. And the locket. When I think, is that the same one where Jan loses her or finds the locket or loses the locket or whatever? Oh yes, and then the Davy Jones one, when from the Monkees, when Marcia was in love with Davy Jones. Oh, another one, the silver platter. When they wanted to buy the silver platter for the parents' anniversary and they didn't have the money to do it, so they decided to enter a singing competition, and they called themselves the Silver Platters. Oh, I could go on and on. I remember all those. Okay, Brady Bunch. What is not going to fit? All right. Even if this is controversial because of whatever is accused of in later life, I loved, when I was a kid, The Cosby Show. That was just a really cool, interesting dynamic of a family, and I liked it. So The Cosby Show. Okay, next one. Number 3 is going to be, I'm going to have to get really creative on my title, you guys, because I'm going to have a lot of room there. 3. I saw this one come up too. Oh, that's backwards, Will. 3. I saw this one come up a couple of times, but I remember it. with Mrs. Roper and her big caftans, her big like moo caftan things that she was wearing. Caftan, not captain, caftans. Three's Company. And oh my gosh, yes, talk about the sexual innuendos in that one. With Jack and Chrissy and Janet. And poor Chrissy, Suzanne Summers, right? You talk about like epitome of a dumb blonde. She just, yeah, that was a good one. That was fun. But again, I'm sure so many things that you watch as a kid and so many things go over your head that I'm sure if we went back and watched that now, we'd be like, holy cow. Karen, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Okay. The show was awesome. No, yep, Sarah, exactly. It was a good show no matter what Bill Cosby did. Not to, discount anything that he did. If I can't even remember if he's been, I don't know where he is these days, if he's in jail or not. The pudding pops. That's what he reminds me of, the pudding pops. Jell-O pudding pops. All right, number 2. I saw both of these listed too. Let's see, which one should we do first? We'll do it was set in Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Is that ringing a bell yet to anyone? I know I saw a couple people mention this. One of the guys on the show was named Squiggy, and the other one was named Lenny. And that would be Laverne and Shirley. And I always liked Laverne because she always had those really cool like patches or pins, or I don't know what they were. The big cursive L, like that on her sweater. And because my name was Lael and it started with an L, I thought that was pretty cool. Laverne and Shirley, and they worked in the brewery. All right. And again, no particular order, but my last one for this list will be that same era. That same era. I think I saw a couple people mention this one too. Oh, that girl. I loved that girl. Oh, Love Boat. Yes. Her monograms, WKRP in Cincinnati. So WKRP had a lot of, it's interesting, a lot of these back then had a lot of sexual innuendos. A lot, right? I think WKRP did too. With Lonnie Anderson, was that her name? The blonde? And Howard. There was a Howard guy too, I think. All right, number 1. And not number 1 in my heart, just happened to be the first one on my list, was Happy Days. I loved Happy Days. Mr. and Mrs. C. Spinoffs from that one. I think there were a couple spinoffs. Joni Loves Chachi was a spinoff, but I think there was another spinoff. Oh my gosh, Kim, I totally forgot that she would drink Pepsi and milk. That is disgusting. Yep, Lonnie Anderson. All right, so, and the Fonz, right? Henry Winkler. And it's so funny because he seemed like the coolest thing ever, right? And Richie, I know. He seemed like the coolest thing ever. And now, I'm sure he's still cool. I'm sure he's an amazing man, but of course looks so different because that's what happens to us all, right? Oh yes, Scott Baio. Scott Baio, Karen, that could send us into our favorite crushes. And that is another one I have on the list, the favorite crushes then and now. All right, so because I need to do some title work here, I am going to end up, well, here's the deal. I'm going to get my stamps out. If you guys would like to be done, you can be done, but I think I know what I want to do here. So, and I don't have to go far because everything on this side of the room is put away, so that's good. I'm just looking here, so bear with me. Bear with me. I have a lot of stamps. I'm going to my Carrie Bradford stamps. I know that's a surprise. But let's see if these will work. Oh, too big. Okay, those will not work. The juniper are not going to work. I love those. I just did then these won't work either. The juniper extra large. I did so I think I mentioned this last week, you guys. I'm going to talk while I'm turning my back, so hopefully you can hear me because I'm still looking for stamps. So this week, or this month, is actually Carrie Bradford. She is celebrating her 10th year in business. And so she has lots of fun things going on social media right now. This whole month. So, I did I think she posted yesterday, I did a couple of different Traveler's Notebook spreads that I will share next week. If you're not on social media, I'll show them because they're memory keeping with some of her stamps. But you guys know I love her stamps. It's funny. I use these on one of them. This is junipers. There's juniper extra large. There's regular juniper. There's a juniper jumbo that is, I think, in my mailbox today. All right, so let's see if this would work. So let's see if sitcom, I think that's too wide. Sitcom will not work there. Sitcom stands for situational comedy. I won't write that whole thing out. So I need, let's see if what I'm finding. I'm probably going to the, oh, how about this one? Brooklyn, extra large. Yeah, okay, let's see. They might be a little bit too large. So again, you guys, I'm just, working, thinking, playing. So if you want to stay for this, well, I guess it's kind of what I do though all the time anyway. But normally I'd say I'm going to finish that later, but I'm just going to go ahead and finish this now. So I think this will work. So let's see. I'm looking for one of my other stamp blocks that's longer. Will these work? No, not quite. Okay, hang tight. Sometimes we have lots of different stamp blocks, right? For different sizes and different things we're doing. That will work. All right, so let's do this. Oh, I know. So watch what I'm going to do here. This block does not have, it does not have grids on it, right? But look what I can do. If I lay that right here, I have grid underneath. So then I know exactly where to line up my stamps. So they are going to be straight. All right. Oh, but I'm going to move over a little bit more. I'm just cheating since that block doesn't have grid on it. I have one that's longer that has grid on it. I just don't know where it is. That's what happens when we don't put things away where they belong, right? Darn it. Then we improvise. Sitcom. Two. So I think sitcom, it's got to be 2 words, right? I better make it 2 words. Otherwise it'll be like, what? Sitcom. Because it's really, it'll also match the girl's shirt. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Oh, you're talking about yellow, huh? Yellow. I don't know. We'll see, you guys. I don't often stamp in color. You know why? Because sometimes I don't get quite even coverage, and I like to have really solid coverage when I stamp. And so if that happens, I can fix it with a black Sharpie. I can't fix it with yellow. We'll see. Sitcom. All right, so I am going to come back in. This needs to be a little bit closer just because I'm a little bit too close to the edge when I laid that down. That's the other nice thing about using stamps like this with photopolymer stamps with acrylic blocks, because you can see what you're doing as opposed to rubber stamps with a wood. Sitcom, there we go. Okay. Even though it's sitcoms and not sitcom, that's okay. I don't have room for sitcoms, so it'll be fine. All right, and then I have room for a little bit of writing up there, just a teeny tiny bit. I might not even say favorite because it's kind of obvious what it is. All right, so now when it comes to color, I don't know. Sitcom, 1 word? Sarah, look at you guys are screaming. 1 word, 1 word. Diane is screaming because it's uppercase. Okay, glad I looked. Thank you. Oh, wait. Yep, glad I looked, you guys. So now I can probably fit sitcoms. See, it's so nice to have you guys helping me. Because if I wasn't live, I would go to Google and figure out if it was sitcom or sit space com. But you guys are my Google. You get louder and louder. You're probably shouting. Well, it's sitcom, one word. One word. That's when, back in the old days, like back in the old coronavirus days when everyone was at home, Nick or Sam would come running in going, wait, they said it's one word. They said it's one word. Or they would tell me. Well, Sam wouldn't. Nick might. I mean, Sam wouldn't know. But Nick might. And he might come in and tell me. But it's just me. And even Poe's in the backyard. So he's not even in the house to tell me. Okay, come on. I know, I hate this part, you guys, because you're like, do-do-do, do-do-do. All right, so you guys listening? Have you been listening? Are you still listening? Mix the colors. Oh, yeah, no. You know what? Karen, I love that, but that was like so, again, it was my type A. My type A couldn't handle it. I just know I couldn't handle it. But you guys know I love your suggestions. All right, so, I know, it's not, the color's not going to happen. I'm not even going to try. It's just not going to happen. I know me. I just know me. Unless, all right, I'm going to look at one quick thing here. Before I use the black, I will look at the navy and see how that works. Oh, hold on. What is Debbie saying? Small favorites below. Okay, let's look. Let's see this. I don't want to do it on here. Let's just put it on one of these and see. Oh, here. You know what? I bet that will work. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. We're going in. We are going in. The little blocks like this, little stamping blocks, are good because you don't have to necessarily commit to a full size before you buy a color that you know you like and you're not sure. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do it. You guys are gonna be so proud of me using color, even though it's navy, so it's kind of not a color. It's close to black. But it's good to get out of our comfort zone sometimes, right? It's good. You can tell I'm trying to make sure I get as much coverage on there as I can. All right, we're going in. Now we don't want to get our white shirt all inked up. Put the lid back on, come in here. I should have had this ready ahead of time so my ink doesn't start to dry on there. Okay, okay. Oh, we're gonna go this way to make sure we don't run off the edge. Okay, we're going in. Wish me luck. Get it lined up. Okay, deep breath. Deep breaths. I know, huge mess. I know, right, Karen? Huge mess. Oh, with the box around it. Karen knows me well. It might happen. It might, you guys, colored pencil box. We know me, right? Colored pencil box. Let's see. Okay. I'm pressing down really hard. Okay, well, it kind of worked, right? It kind of worked. Bigger stamp, so sometimes you don't get the pressure quite in the middle, but that works. It's okay. It'll be good. I won't redo it. I won't redo it. All right. So, I'm going to try something. I just want to see something. I'm not sure if this would work, but I'm going to try it. I just want to see what happens if where's my little scratch paper? Oh, I didn't, okay. What happens if okay, not quite the right blue, but I am going to keep trying something. So see what I'm doing? I am taking a colored pencil. Oh, I think that one is it. I think that, no. Okay, I'm gonna look at one more blue, and if this blue doesn't do it, well, one of these blues doesn't do it, then, nope, not that one. I am using the big one in my hand. So let's see. That one is having a harder time for some reason. I think it's this one. All right, so I am going to just color in a little bit of this. All right, another reason for colored pencil. I've never tried that before, so that's, I'm glad to know that works. If you can find a colored pencil that matches a little bit, then you may be able to fill in a little bit. Now, if I had like big gaping holes, it wouldn't work as well because it would be, the texture would be different and the color would be different. But here, it actually, I think it works out all right. And then if I really wanted to, I could just keep on going and really, so you're going to see it a little bit more in those big gaping holes right there. But I don't know, you guys may not even be able to tell because of the lighting, but that will help. That helps my type A a little bit get over the fact that there's a little bit of stuff gaping in there. All right, so I'll probably work on that just a little bit more, but it works. Okay, so let me put this pencil, oh yeah, oh gosh, hold on. Which one did I use? I used this one, right? Oh, look it. Q-tips are Q-tips. Q-tips are, must be cotton buds, blues and greens. Okay, hold on, Sarah. Q-tip. Yeah, so you know what? That's a good idea. I can try Q-tip. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously, I get it. Get a Q-tip, like if this was my Q-tip, get a Q-tip and go like, you guys are genius. You guys are genius. See, now I can, oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you guys stuck around to the end so I could learn that from you. I'm so glad because now I'm going to try that too. I don't know why I never thought of that before. All right, cotton, yep, okay. Yeah, cotton, isn't that funny? Q-tip. All right, friends, let me get the pencils put away. And I'm going to turn off the lights. Oh gosh, those lights. Oh, it's my favorite number. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 12:34. Do you guys have a favorite like time like that? That you happen to look at the clock and a lot it says that time? That is my time. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34 that I happen to see a lot. Somebody need to shout that in all caps. I know you guys, speak up, would you? I can't hear you. If you're telling me to do something, you've got to yell. Oh, Lynn, your nickname was Q-tip. That's funny. I had a sorority sister. Her name was Q-tip also. Her nickname. Okay, here we go. 311 or 909, 336. It's your angel number. Okay, so I think I've heard that before, and I don't know if I've heard it referred to as angel number, but sometimes I think that's my grandma. And I don't know why, that's my grandma. Whenever I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 12:34, that's my grandma saying, hey, I see you, how are you? 7:30. So isn't that funny? We have, Lynn, your hair was in an afro. So my friend, my sorority sister, who I just happened to see a couple weeks ago, she just had a lot of hair, a lot. And so it wasn't an afro, but it was just a lot of hair. And yeah, 719 because it's your area code. So that would be, so this would be a totally different thing, and it wouldn't be a list, but maybe there's a list like favorite numbers or special numbers. Okay, how about that? I'm going to add that. We could maybe do a list sometime in the future that it's like special numbers or meaningful numbers or something like that. Special numbers. All right, and I have to make my notes or else I won't forget. Okay, my friends, that was a long Saturday. Well, that was, that was 2 hours and 34 minutes because that would be 12:34. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining me again this Saturday. That was fun. Like I said, I love our times together because this is the time that I know every week that this is my crafty time. And this is kind of my girlfriend time too, right? We get together, we have fun, we laugh, we craft. We just, are here. So thank you for joining me. As a reminder, especially if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment on just one of the things you added to one of your lists today, whether it was your favorite sitcom, favorite thing about your hometown, or one of your guilty pleasures, just so that I can kind of get to know you. Only the I should say guilty pleasures. Please only in the comments put your G-rated guilty pleasures, or YouTube might block you. Yes, so next Saturday, oh yeah, I can't remember if I said this, thumbs up. Please, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And next Saturday, we will be doing one of our Make With Me, or memory keeping in a traveler's notebook. So just if you want to bring photos, if you want to bring your things, if you just want to come hang out, do whatever you'd like. I will probably be doing a few more entries in my coronavirus traveler's notebooks, my second one, because I'm just about done with my second one and I need to wrap that up so I can do another flip through video. Otherwise, guys, thank you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks for spending time with me again today on Saturday. All right. Take care, guys. Bye. Oh, here we go. Stop. Goodbye.